You think Monday to Sunday is natural? You think 60 seconds, 24 hours, 7 days is objective? You think time as you live it wasn't constructed, enforced, and violently standardized? Europeans didn't invent timekeeping. They just carved it up like they carved the globe. Wrong, uneven, and profitable. They didn't even know what a week was. The 7-day week isn't Roman, it's Babylonian. Each day was named after visible celestial bodies: Sun, Moon, Mars, Mercury, Jupiter, Venus, and Saturn. This system spread first through Mesopotamia, then Hellenistic Egypt, then Rome, until eventually it was Christianized. Rome originally used an 8-day market week, or noon. They dropped it for the 7-day rhythm only after Jewish and Christian influence became politically inconvenient to ignore. Even the names of the days are just bad translations of Babylonian deities into Norse and Roman mythology. Sunday equals sun, Monday equals moon, Tuesday equals Tuesday or Mars, Wednesday equals Woden's day or Mercury, Thursday equals Thor's day or Jupiter, Friday equals Frigg's day or Venus, Saturday equals Saturn. None of it is scientific. None of it is rational. It's just myth-based planetary branding slapped on a weekly labor cycle. They didn't invent hours. They rescaled the cosmos. Where do 60 seconds and 60 minutes come from? Time's up. Not Europe. Sumer, Babylon, ancient Kemet. The sexagesimal system, base 60, was used in Mesopotamia to divide the sky for astronomical calculations as early as 2000 BCE. Ancient Egyptians used 12 hours of day and 12 hours of night, but their hours changed length depending on season. It wasn't until mechanical clocks in 14th century Europe, built by monks to regulate prayer schedules, that we got equal hours, regardless of sun position. Why 24 hours? Why 60 minutes? Time's up. Because the Babylonians were tracking celestial movement. Europe was tracking obedience. Time became a weapon, not a measure. Europe didn't use time to align with nature. They used it to control labor. Church bells told peasants when to wake, pray, and work. The mechanical clock was used, not for farming, but for disciplining monastic time, and later, factory shifts. By the Industrial Revolution, time became a form of surveillance. Clock in, clock out. Prove your productivity. Time moved from the stars to the punch card. This was never about rhythm. It was about regimentation. Meanwhile, the rest of the world had time as a balance. Maya used the Solkin, 260-day ritual calendar, and Hab, 365-day solar calendar, tracking agriculture, ceremony, and planetary motion together. The Islamic lunar calendar tracks moon cycles in real time with no leap years, rejecting solar-based correction to center sacred rhythm. Swahili Coast used both lunar and monsoon-based systems, anchored to tide, trade winds, and ritual journeys. These weren't clocks. They were covenants, not against nature, but with it. Global Standard Time? That's just railroad colonialism. The idea of global time zones didn't exist until British railroad and telegraph empires needed to control schedules across vast, stolen territories. Greenwich Mean Time, or GMT, was declared global zero point in 1884, chosen by British diplomats, enforced by colonial infrastructure. All other times were defined relative to empire. Local solar time, once unique to each city, was outlawed in favor of mechanized grid time. Indian, African, and Pacific Island communities were forced to adopt GMT, even if it disrupted prayer, planting, migration, or monsoon patterns. Europe didn't standardize time. They colonized it. One empire's schedule became the whole world's obligation. They never knew how the falcon's shadow to tell time. They didn't invent the week, didn't invent the hour, didn't invent the calendar. They just inherited fragments from older civilizations and repackaged them as modernity while outlawing every other rhythm. Time in the West isn't based on the cosmos. It's based on convenience, control, and colonial compression. They didn't measure time to understand life. They measured it to own it. Cope. Or alternatively, if you learned something or enjoyed this, hit the link in my bio to figure out how you can support my work. Thank you.